What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp here from Fightful.com podcast. Alex, I have a remarkable echo. Or I did at least.
It's gone now.
It's gone now. Well, there he is, you guys. It's Alex.
It's me.
No intro needed.
No, I live here with the sandwiches.
Pardon me?
It's a line from that Sonic commercial that always makes me smile. I live here with the sandwiches.
Yeah, okay. They've had a pretty good run, haven't they? Those two.
They've had some those two guys, man. It's been years they've been doing those ads. Those guys maybe make bank.
Yeah, man. That's probably their only gig, too. I know one of them's a comedian, but they're both comedians, but yeah, that's all they got to do. Anyway, we got Monday Night Raw to talk about. Guys, if you don't mind, head over to Fightful.com, all your news for MMA, pro wrestling, boxing. We covered UFC 214 at length this weekend. Live coverage, post-show stories, pre-show stories, a post-show podcast with myself and Showdown Joe. That is up on Fightful.com, and, of course, use our Fightful.com forums. What I really want you guys to check out is my video blog that I did. It is on our YouTube. It is up at Fightful.com. You get to see an eating challenge. And, Alex, there was some big beef eaten at the Toronto Blue Jays game.
I saw that. I'm a big dude, but you can't make me eat that much beef that fast, or you're not going to see me for a while.
Oh, Nicola, the Irish Canadian, man, she put it down.
Yeah,
Put it down. I was impressed. I was very impressed. Go check that out, guys. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time with Jimmy Van's team that he has, not only for Fightful.com, but several other websites. And Nigel may have made a celebrity of himself because people want him in the room producing the shows all the time. So I'm pretty excited about that. But please head over, check that out. And, of course, last week's live List and Your Boy podcast. But, Alex, what was it like hosting the SmackDown show?
Did you ask me a question?
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I said, what was it like hosting the SmackDown show?
All I heard was SmackDown show. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. There was remarkably little, making fun of the commenters and stuff like that. We just, it's just me and Jeff and Anna going back and forth about how much we hate what they're doing with gender and all the other things on SmackDown. It was a bad SmackDown. There wasn't even a Fashion Files that week. Like, that's what I was looking forward to the most about hosting a SmackDown post-show, and there wasn't even a Fashion Files. What gives?
Indeed. We got Monday Night Raw to talk about tonight, and we've got a while before any WWE pay-per-views. So I wonder if we're going to keep getting shows like this.
Yikes.
There's plenty of good stuff. I guess I gotta preface it because this always happens, Alex. And I haven't seen a lot of like Raws that I just didn't like recently. The show's been pretty damn good. But I gotta preface this by saying just because I didn't like the show doesn't mean I hated everything on it, you guys. The last impression is often the most important one on Raw, which it didn't make a very good last impression, Alex.
No, you can't. You can't have the final 1/3 of your show be you basically mailing it in. Like, we'll talk about this later, but if you've just given up on the third hour, and you're not going to give anybody a reason to stick around, then, the third hour viewership always drops. I'm anticipating this week that it will drop like precipitously, like 30%. Yeah. It was not good.
So the show started off with Kurt Angle coming out running down the night's event in his hometown. Of course, he got a great ovation. He's confronted by Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Heyman says that he knows Angle was influenced to get the title off of Lesnar. I love the way they're taking this because the buzz is John Jones, Brock Lesnar. John Jones, Brock Lesnar. Now, guys, I have an article up chronicling. Like, a lot of people are saying, well, that fight's going to happen. Yeah, it might happen, but it ain't happening until 2018 at the earliest. But I love that they did this. They took John Jones challenging Brock Lesnar. They took the rumors of Brock Lesnar in the UFC and they integrated it into a storyline. And I love it because usually a situation like this would guarantee a Lesnar win. That doesn't necessarily ring true here. Heyman says that Lesnar will leave WWE if he loses at SummerSlam. I just think it's a great idea to capitalize, Alex.
I do too. I mean, obviously the whole thing's a work either way. But I mean, like if you're just looking at it as a fan perspective, I really thought this was a great chance for them to get the title off of Lesnar now. But if you're taking Heyman at his word, well, this means Brock's got to win, right? They're not going to let him out of his contract now when there's Mania on the way, you know, and a potential Goldberg rematch at Survivor Series or whatever the hell they want to do with him there. Like, it just feels like it's giving this stip of if I lose, I'm out. Kind of makes me doubt, you know, my oh my God, anything could happen thought about the Big Beef 4-way in a few weeks at SummerSlam. Now
I think for a lot of people, it's doing the opposite, Alex, because there are a lot of people who buy into this Brock Lesnar UFC stuff.
Right.
They don't understand that Brock has to re-enter the USADA pool and sit in it for 6 months before he could fight Jon Jones and probably lose in a round.
There are a lot of people out there who think that he could lose at SummerSlam, say, I quit, and I'm going to go fight Jon Jones UFC, and like they'd have that fight by Halloween. Like they don't understand what the you know, the testing pool and all that stuff and having to go back in there, so they don't understanding that part.
For those of you who keep asking me what is the possibility of this fight happening, I think the possibility is very good. Jon Jones is probably going to fight again this year, I would imagine. And then if Brock Lesnar would get in that damn testing pool, then they could get the ball rolling on that. But if I were Brock Lesnar, I would try to target after WrestleMania. See, the thing is, I don't think WWE will have him do it in the first quarter of next year, or really the first third of next year because of his WrestleMania tie. But he could probably do it for International Fight Week next July. So I would say if it's going to happen, it'll probably happen maybe in 11 months or so after Brock is through the USADA testing pool and done with Rumble and Mania.
If there is some kind of tie between UFC and WWE, and it's a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing, how great would it be if Jon Jones cost Brock Lesnar his Mania match?
That would be huge. You know what I mean? That would be...
It would be this amazing thing that could carry everything through it.
Or if Jon Jones cost Brock Lesnar his SummerSlam match.
True. That could, you know, that's...
And got him put out of the WWE.
That could be fun.
They could do it. And they know each other. They pose for pictures together. Jon Jones has shown up at WWE events before. So it's not completely unheard of, but yeah, I like the way that they did this. We had the Hardy Boys and the Revivals, or not the Revival, the Good Brothers, rather. The Revival were on commentary. Good, solid tag matchup. Revival solid on commentary, too. They put over Matt Hardy's Twitter skills, which I thought was a little funny. Anderson took a hilarious corner bump. These guys, unfortunately, Anderson and Gallows, don't really have any mystique about them anymore, Alex.
Yeah. No, they don't. They should. And they went into WrestleMania as the tag champs. And what? They lost there, and they haven't really sniffed them since. Like, they're just right back down to the doldrums. They're baby faces when they face the Revival, and they're heels when they face the Hardys. And that's fine with me as long as you're you know, not just having them come out one week and say, hey, DC, they're big. It's a good brother town, Ski. And then the next week come out and say, Pittsburgh, what a dump. Like, you got to be more subtle with your heel and face thing rather than like complimenting or insulting the fans. But I guess it looks like after this whole thing, they're going toward a triple threat match at SummerSlam between the Revival, Good Brothers, as you call them, and the Hardys, which can be fun. But that's just another way of throwing as many people as possible onto this card.
Yeah, and it's going to be a long card. After the Hardys win, all hell breaks loose. They end up beating up both teams. including Matt taking that twist of fate bump on the ramp that I don't like. These guys, they just don't care. They're like, one more run? Matt's like, fuck it, I'll be on the creative team soon enough. That's Matt's like Global Force Wrestling getting denied their trademark celebration. He's like, screw it. Also, we get a poetry in motion off the ramp. Neat stuff. Pretty decent. Now, I'll tell you what I loved, Alex. I love this Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins stuff backstage. I am seeing some of Dean Ambrose's best promo work in the WWE that I've ever seen here because I buy it, because there's a history there. There's a backstory. Seth Rollins, we've seen him apologize. We've seen him do all these things that not only baby faces don't do, nobody does. Like, because Vince McMahon doesn't think it's realistic for people to apologize. But we're seeing that out of Seth Rollins. And I tweeted this earlier. Credit to WWE for taking a couple of guys who were spinning their tires in Rollins and Ambrose and putting them into a situation that I care about, I'm intrigued about, and I can't wait to see what happens at SummerSlam because, well, let's approach the promo first. What'd you think about that?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like these two guys in this relationship. It complicates things needlessly with the actions of Ambrose later. I feel like they're rushing a whole bunch of stuff when they have 2 more Raws before SummerSlam. We'll talk about the match that Seth Rollins has later. But it's an interesting deal with, who do I not root for, but identify with? I mean, Seth Rollins is opening up and saying for the first time, what I did was shitty and I apologize. I never should have done it and I'm sorry. And then to be the former friend who will not accept his apology, that's Dean. And so I go like, well, I mean, give him a shot. Maybe Dean. And so maybe the whole thing, my hesitancy on Dean is that I'm like, you're kind of being an asshole, dude. I mean, it's years and years and years ago. It's literally the only thing from 3 years ago that WWE keeps track of.
Yeah, but it was a pretty big thing 3 years ago.
It was.
They were a pretty successful act. Not to mention all the, cinder blocks and shit that would follow. So, I mean, there is a history there. There's a reason for Seth Rollins to not be trusted, and I like that. Later, Cesaro and Sheamus clown Rollins for not having trust and say that he should star in WWE Ride Alone, which I would watch way sooner than I would ever watch Bring It to the Table.
Oh, yeah. 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 The other thing I think was floated on Twitter was Table for Me, which I think is really, really good, too. Just somebody sitting, eating alone.
I said I would like it if it were Seth Rollins basically doing a VH1 Storytellers about every Madden tournament game he won and why his opponent was so terrible. I would love that. Rollins wants to fight. Sheamus obliges. We get that later on. This Cruiserweight tag match is the kind of thing I want to see. It was nonstop. There was great babyface offense. The match didn't mean a damn thing primarily, but the heels had a built-in heat spot with Tozawa's injury. It got a bunch of guys on TV. It furthered Tozawa's storyline with Titus. It put Tozawa over a little bit. Really good stuff. Also, I'm told that WWE's crew is rather happy about the elimination of the purple ropes and that it's made formatting the show even more flexible. So, win for everybody. This is also part of the week where I praise Titus. He is great.
Titus is great. I did love the prolonged. I'm going to call the match off. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. You sure? Because I think you should definitely think about your long-term effects of this injury. No, I swear I'm okay. That went on for much longer than I think it needed to, but it was funny the whole way through. So
they were trying to kill time until the commercial, and it seemed like they just kept it on forever and ever. Yeah. I like that Tozawa's deal is that he's not a cerebral enough wrestler about his injury, and Titus is like, you got to listen. You got to listen.
Right.
And he is providing that guidance, and it's really good. The babyfaces get the win, which leads me – I'm going to skip a bit ahead here. How bad of a career move was it for Kalisto to pass up joining Titus Worldwide?
Man, it was so bad. Because here's the thing. He passed them up when they were heels. You know what I mean? And they got over as baby faces by accident. It's because it was fun. You know what I mean? And they went from being Titus brand to Titus Worldwide, which means they could they're global now. And Kalisto, he missed the boat. I think it'd be great to have Kalisto, especially after tonight, next week, come up to Apollo Crews and go, hey, remember that when you were wanting me to be like in your stable? What if I was in it now? Because I could do good lucha things. You know, like that'd be really good if he was said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said yes."
The thing about this show is I liked a lot of the in-ring wrestling, and there were a lot of things I liked outside the ring. It's just that so much of it was absolutely inconsequential.
Yeah.
Had it been consolidated and put on something that actually mattered, I would have liked it a lot more. I felt like I wasted much of my time tonight. Despite what I saw being good, it's like nothing advanced. I don't like that on regular TV shows either. For the life of me, I do not understand the not having a last name shit. I didn't understand the Big E Langston removal. I didn't understand Antonio Cesaro. I didn't get it. I don't get it. Elias got a really good pop from his hometown crowd, healed them with a song, and then got interrupted. I thought TJP was coming out. I was like, TJP, what are you doing out here? You pulling double duty?
Kalisto. Oh, poor guy. He can't catch a break. Like
maybe the first time I was ever disappointed to not see TJP.
Oh, man. There's a thing. Elias Sampson should exclusively wrestle dudes under 195 pounds because he just tosses those little guys around the ring. He makes them look so much bigger than he is. I mean, he's a big dude, but he's average sized when it comes to wrestling. So but he's much bigger than Kalisto, and that's fun. I like all the things Elias is doing. Somehow this guy's getting some kind of monster push here, like a mid-card push that's like starting with, I don't know where, like this guy is going to be in a mid-card title picture soon. Like, do you think he casually knocks on Vince's door every day and he's like, hey sir, how you doing? You're looking particularly virile, young, and handsome today. Well, he's totally in touch with your customer base. Can I get you a coffee, sir?
It's funny you mentioned the 195-pound thing. I mentioned, I had in my notes that Kalisto is a really good opponent for a guy like Elias to show his arsenal off, which he is getting very good at varying up.
Yeah.
Throughout all these matches, which we didn't see a lot in NXT. But he busted out a Canadian backbreaker. Like, it was he's improving. Yep. And if you're going to get a push like this, hats off to Elias for making his best effort to improve. This is one of those things that you can look at and say, it didn't get over in NXT, but it's already worked much better here than it did there.
And I think this particular segment and match would have gone over even better had it been in the first hour, which is when we're talking about it. Because it was in the third hour, which was death.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely see Elias and Jason Jordan for the Intercontinental title later this year. For sure. Speaking of Miz TV with Jason Jordan, man, what a shitty theme they gave Jason Jordan. CFOs had What's up, Playboys? How lazy can you get? Now, we'll talk about the Seth Rollins thing later, the little addition there, but they also addressed Jordan getting booed. Miz offers Jordan a spot in the Miz Taraj. Based on Jordan's mic work, this may be a Kalisto Titus Worldwide situation here. He may be better off just saying yes and letting Miz talk for him, because Miz proceeded to take him to fucking school on the mic. Then Miz gets suplexed into the Miz Taraj. This is going to need some work, Alex. It's Jason Jordan deal.
It is. The theme, I don't see why he can't have custody of the American Alpha theme. Like, what are they going to do with Chad Gable now? Like, not this, not that gimmick, probably, since the dude who's Kurt Angle's son is the American hero. So he'll like, why can't he have the American Alpha music and do something new for Chad Gable? The segment is fine. It was kind of funny listen, I don't care what you say about me, but if you talk crap about my dad one more time, I'm going to have to hurt you. Like, it was just really weird. I love that he didn't call him my dad. He called him Kurt, which is just wonderfully progressive. I love the belly-to-belly suplex into the other two guys, but here is the deal with this segment. While you were gone, Bo Dallas was on Jericho's podcast, and it turns out he's a conspiracy nut. Now, it's fine if you want to be like, hey, wouldn't it be interesting if this was true? Like, maybe the Cubans killed JFK. Maybe it was the mob. Like, okay, fine, cool. But when you believe the earth is hollow and filled with giant reptile people who stole part of the Bible, then I'm like, dude, you're a little crazy. And when you say that Sandy Hook didn't happen,
yeah, that pisses me off.
Then I'm done. And like, I loved past tense Bo Dallas. I can't look at him the same way now. Like, do you know the meme about milkshake duck on Twitter? So it's this funny thing of like, everybody who's your hero that comes up out of nowhere, you find out they said some really racist stuff in the past. Like, the internet loves milkshake duck. It's the duck who drinks milkshake. 2 minutes later, we regret to inform you that milkshake duck is a racist. So basically, Bo Dallas milkshake ducked himself last week.
Hey man, I've been there. I have Vince Russo on every once in a while, and he said some pretty disgusting shit in my opinion. And when we brought him back, I had to be like, Vince, this type of stuff will never be said on Fightful.com.
Right.
Like, we will have you on to talk some old stories. People like our chemistry and stuff, but I will trust that you will not say anything like that on Fightful.com, and we distance ourselves from those comments. So, hey, I'm there. I will say, though, when it starts with the lizard people and shit, his real-life personality is exactly what Bray Wyatt's actual gimmick should be. That would make his promos a lot better if he's talking about lizard people.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm very sick of Bray Wyatt as like the chief of the personality police. Like, man, Roman, Finn, Dean, you think you're so cool, man. Well, let me tell you, you're not. And these people, they're not. I don't give a fuck. Shut the fuck up. Fight somebody. Shut the fuck up and fight somebody.
It was really, really obvious that the crowd was getting to that point, because they start out with all the fireflies come out with the phones and stuff, and about halfway through the promo that's still being done in the dark, there's like 6 or 7 phones still on in the arena. Like, everyone was just done. The fireflies went away.
There were more fireflies in the middle of the really boring Tyron Woodley versus Damian Maia fight at UFC 214 this weekend than there were during this. Yeah.
Bray Wyatt, dude, it's like you say, some of this has to be on him. And it's more now than it's more every week. Every week it gets a little bit more on him because there's got to be something that changes. But they keep sending him out there to say the same damn thing every time, and it doesn't work. It hasn't worked in forever. And you can't be a man who proclaims himself to be a god every week and then show no evidence of that whatsoever, because it just makes you ineffectual. And you're not spooky. You're just that weird guy who lives by the bus station. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just terrible. I I was watching Muppet Treasure Island with my daughter, and there's this moment where Sam the Eagle pretends to be a ghost, and he rises up out of the cabin hold to scare all the other pirates, and he's wearing seaweed, and he goes, spooky, 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 and I'm like, that's Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's just the guy who comes out and says spooky, spooky,
I got
spooky.
a beard, and I'm a little overweight, and my dreadlocks make me different than you.
I was thinking about this.
Gives a shit.
I was thinking about this this week. I think this is a guy who could take this basic idea of a character and the stuff he does in the ring and get over huge in Japan. You know what I mean? Like, he's a bigger dude. He's an underrated worker, and if they let him do the stuff he can really do, it could be fun. And they love weird horror shit over in Japan. Like, it's something, whatever this is not working here. Change it up or let him go, be free, do something else.
Finn Balor teleports into the ring and kicks Wyatt a lot. Cool, man.
They teased the demon for the first time with the red and the heartbeat. And
yeah, we're getting a demon. We are.
Yeah.
We know the score.
They don't need to tease it just yet, though. They could tease it later.
Everybody knows he's going to do it.
Yeah.
We have a random downstate burn it down lyric in Rollins theme now. I think he'd be better served to just have lyrics across the whole thing, but it's a slight improvement. Hate to bag on CFOs again, but unfortunately he was one of several people during that period where CFOs were like, we'll just do like 30-second loops and fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. His whole burn it down thing, because that's what they say now. They have him say burn it down, scream it at the beginning of his thing. I realized we should have seen this coming. We should have seen the signs of his pyromania at WrestleMania when he lit the ramp on fire with the torch, and then it went all the way down to the ring. I don't know where this arsonist thing is coming from and why they think that's a cool thing to be.
What are you talking about?
Well, that's fine, but I don't. Did we see hints of that?
Homeboys.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, sometimes it takes a while. You never know what you're
to
going to
manifest itself. Man. That's right. Yeah. Possibly his psyche broke. It's possible.
Cesaro screaming at Rollins that he has no friends is really funny. This is a solid, rather short match. Rollins wins. Cesaro attacks, you know the drill, but it took Ambrose a while to come out. And then Ambrose got his ass kicked, too. Match was fine. Middle of the road, no big deal. But the promo afterwards was pretty good. Ambrose plays it off really well. Like, Rollins is saying thank you, and Ambrose is annoyed. He goes, maybe you shouldn't pick fights that you know you can't finish. Man, I'm loving this. And you see where it's going. Rollins and Ambrose versus Cesaro and Sheamus, SummerSlam tag team titles is what's going to happen. And I'm all for it because anything to switch it up a little bit for Dean Ambrose and give him some motivation. Because I get the feeling with Cesaro and Rollins in the ring, he's going to be encouraged to step it up from a work perspective. With Sheamus stiffing the living shit out of him, he's going to be motivated to do something, hit him back, anything. I'm down for this feud. And I think that Cesaro and Sheamus have also played it off very well.
Yeah, no, this is good. I like this as a feud. It gives Dean and Seth, who, like you said, were spinning their wheels, something to do. It is one of those things of I don't buy your. Well, maybe you shouldn't. Like, don't come out. Don't come out this week. Next week, come out. There's a progression, because the problem with WWE storytelling is that they're really bad about going A to B to C. They go A, D, and they don't. There's no progression of stuff. So this week, if he doesn't come out to help Seth, and Seth goes to the back and say, "Hey, man, why didn't you help me?" He's like, "Well, you look like you can handle it out there." All right, man, I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. Whatever. Like, and then next week, Dean does come out. That's a progression. Like tonight, it felt like the whole thing was rushed. Like he was from, I hate you. I don't trust you anywhere. Now I'm going to save your ass. And they have to walk it back by him saying, "Oh, well, whatever." as opposed to having a real progression of storyline. And that's what I was hoping for from this. It does feel like everything's kind of rushed with the storyline, but if we get greatness coming up, I'll forgive all of that, like I always do.
Yeah, sure. Roman Reigns defeated Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman, match of the night. No surprise. You'd be shocked to learn this was a hard-hitting Hoss beef battle.
Yep.
Just 3 sirloin beefs just banging up against each other. That's what you get. The Strowman Reigns toss through the ropes is a spot that they've adopted that I really like. I love that spot. Reigns gets a spear, wins a really good match. There wasn't a ton to break down on my side here. They beat the crap out of each other, and they did exceptionally well at it.
Yes. This was one of those things where they swerved us. Not really, but you already know Brock's in the building, and these 3 guys are having a match. Why would you give away 3/4 of your SummerSlam main event in a real match that saw a clean finish? You wouldn't. So you're going to have Brock come down 6 to 8 minutes into the match, cause havoc, and everything ends in a schmoz. But they didn't do that. They had Roman Reigns win clean as a whistling sheet, and it's like, oh, well, we're back to early to mid-2016 programming. And it just, I loved the match, but the finish had me going, oh, okay, we're doing that now. So I guess good for being unpredictable. But I would have loved to have seen these guys not have a clean finish in this match so that something is built to for SummerSlam and whatever they do in the next 2 weeks, because you know these guys are going to face each other in some kind of combination in the next 2 weeks as well.
Yeah, we have the video up of Joe's match with Lesnar. They deleted the original video because WWE just does that type of thing. Brandon Howard, one of our writers, said that Bring It to the Table broached the language of WWE.
Oh, really?
Aired a clip of commentators saying structure 64 times during the Punjabi Prison match. I guess they're taking our list in the boys segments now. Per usual. We did that segment so much that we were like, we ain't doing it anymore.
Right.
Because we got tired of bitching about how they said the same shit over and over and over. How many times did we hear the name Elias tonight? Do you think Booker got yelled at in his headset for saying Samson?
He might have. This whole thing with Elias is weird. They give him a backstory last week where he's a gambler. He loves going to the casinos, just sitting at the blackjack tables. And this week he was like, what he went to some place and they gave him something that was meant for somebody else and they gave it to him anyway, something like that. And then Corey Davis was like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, well, you're shoehorning backstory into Elias, not Elias Sampson, just Elias. And it's just this weird thing of they're building him up in this very odd, obvious way. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it.
Indeed. Alexa Bliss, I thought, had a pretty good promo on Bayley and Sasha Banks backstage saying that she couldn't believe that Sasha actually lost to Bayley. I think that gets over much better than Bayley doesn't belong here type of thing. Just, I thought Sasha was a lot better than Bayley. She's not. Hot damn, I'm happy. I beat Bayley before. Cool.
Yep.
I thought it went really well.
Good promo, as always, from Alexa Bliss.
How much baby oil did Big Cass have on backstage? I compared it to Ahmed Johnson.
Too much. Too much. The spray tan was strong with him tonight. Yeah, no, his gimmick now appears to be big dumb guy with a word of the day calendar. Like he was like posterior and some other word with starting with M that was a little SAT word, like that he's trying to prove he doesn't need Enzo to talk for him by learning a few words in the dictionary and using them properly, which is a gimmick. We'll see if he can make it work and make it into a good one. But yeah, we'll see.
Bayley defeated Nia Jax via countout. This is the 7th televised singles match in 9 months between these two. That doesn't include all the tag matches they've had as well and multi-person matches. One thing I noticed is that Nia paces a lot during her matches, and production has trouble keeping up with her. It's a thing I've always noticed. She then mocked Sasha's ponytail. Bayley takes control. For some reason, Alexa interfering isn't a DQ. I get that a lot of times it's like, well, if the person doesn't hit the person in the match, the person interfering, but I would leave that for like title matches and stuff. The referee gives more lenience. Nia eats the stairs. Bayley gets a count-out win. At least good consistency there that Bayley escapes by the skin of her teeth despite being a babyface, because they're trying to portray that she may not be good enough to beat Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, this is the point of the night after Elias got the big hometown pop from Pittsburgh, when the crowd realized, hey, wait, they already did the main event, right? Like, they did the big beef 3-way. So what is there left? And they just lost interest. Like, there was 0 pop for Bayley. Nobody cared. This match was not good, but nobody was into it. Yes, I agree with you that there is a difference, apparently, in the rule book between interference and attempted interference. Attempted interference gives you no penalty, but if interference, that throws the match out. So maybe there's a thing, like if you get caught attempting to interfere, you're banned from ringside. Something in the match can continue, something that is a happy medium. Because this whole, I ran down and tried to hit you, but you hit me first, now the match continues, and after I distracted you, is just weird. But yeah, this match was not great. And the crowd was super not into it, because they were like, should we go? Because we have work in the morning, and the kids are tired. We should go. Like, that's basically what I was hearing palpably from the crowd throughout this match.
More average. What was far below average was Big Cass versus Big Show. He defeated Big Show via DQ. Enzo came out, cut a promo. Big Cass got some stock music that they used to dub over old ECW themes on the network. And it's an improvement over the shit he had before.
Yep. Yeah.
This match starts out at 11 Eastern, and at 11:04, we are working the leg. Working the leg at 11:04 Eastern.
Wrap it up, B.
Yes.
Wrap it up.
Wrap that shit up.
This was just awful. Like, it was.
Just don't say that to Anna. She doesn't get Chappelle Show references. I learned last week. I made a joke. I made a player haters ball joke to her, and she's like, "Why are you being a dick?" And I was like, "I'm not." It's like it's a player haters ball joke.
Yeah, this was a shiv in the eye of the people who stuck around to watch this match at the arena. Like, so we all know that the third hour gets much less. Is a drop off in the viewership. So they've decided, well, everyone tunes out for the third hour anyway. Let's give everybody the big real main event as the last match of the second hour, bleeding over to the beginning of the third hour. See if we get people to stick around. And then what do you have for the third hour? You have nothing. You have this. You have this terrible third hour. I don't see how that solves your problem, especially tonight when you have one of the most anticipated Raw main events in memory. So why wouldn't you put this on last and get people to stay up late or stick around longer to watch this match, knowing that it goes up? Promote the hell out of it. Our main event going on tonight at 10:40 Eastern is this. Like, and get them to stick around, as opposed to putting it on at the end of hour 2 and just saying screw it to the rest of it, because the rest of it was bad.
Yeah, this match was slow paced, not good. I have always liked the big chop to the chest of a flying opponent. Enzo causes a DQ. Big Show knocks Cass out. That's it. Roll credits.
I honestly thought they should have rolled credits because Enzo comes in and Big Cass beats him up. After Big Cass hit a big boot to Big Show. Then Show gets up, hits the knockout punch to Cass, and he falls over himself. So at one point, there were just 3 dudes barely conscious laying in the ring, and I was like, cut it now, cut the feed now, because 3 dudes asleep in the ring is the perfect metaphor for the last hour of this show. You know, like that. Wow. Wow.
That's Raw.
Yeah, that's Raw.
That's Raw. How was it last week without me, Alex?
It was a little stressful at times, trying to make sure I'm getting everything. Because I'm neurotic like that. Okay, wait. I'm responsible for all of the things that are happening. I better not screw this up. So I was double checking and triple checking and trying not to make catastrophic mistakes. I caught myself making a few of them. I guess I missed one at some point. But good Lord, it was just one of those things like, dude, what you do here by being in charge, people don't appreciate enough. Because I, for one, am not cut out for that particular role. I love being the number 2. Number 1, it's hard.
It is hard. It is difficult. I came back, so I flew back and I got back at 6 p.m. Then I proceeded to work from 6 p.m. until 3 a.m. because it was UFC 214, and John Jones had to go out and call out Brock Lesnar and shit. And then the next day, I was like, Alex, just don't touch a computer, please. Because, I mean, you worked a shit ton last week.
Yeah, yeah.
Pardon my language, guys. Those Canadians had me cursing.
Oh, yeah.
Impolite up there. So I worked, I think, 16 solid hours last night. Woke up today and have been working since I woke up this morning. So I'm squeezing in a bunch of time here. But I think we're on track and we got things mostly smoothed out and back to normal and stuff. But lots of stuff, like Carlos covered the Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner fight live. That was cool. We got the vlog up there. We got Carlos's boxing newsletter. Tons of exclusives last week. It was a good time. It was a good time. What stood out last week in the wrestling world to you?
Oh, just the whole thing with Ed Nordholm unsolicitedly lying about Matt Hardy demanding an extra $100,000 and Matt Hardy going, I got the tapes, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this damn thing's never going to end. And then, of course, hilariously, GFW's attempts to trademark Broken Universe stuff were like, the government was like, yeah, nah, that's not going to happen. We're not going to do that. That was funny. But yeah, there was a bunch of stuff.
I never want to go. One day I'll tell an extended story about this, but I'll repeat as much as I have because I don't want to get deposed, honestly, in regards to anything. But I mean, I know you remember last year when people were trying to decide whether the contract signing was the greatest or worst thing to ever happen in wrestling. I thought it was one of the greatest things that happened. And to be fair, that was the point. That's what Matt Hardy wanted. And I had interviewed Matt Hardy several times. I interviewed him in character as Big Money Matt. And like, I know that he liked that and he thought a lot of me for that. So he calls me and he talks to me for about, I think, like 70, 80 minutes after he saw one of my tweets about the contract signing. And what he would say, he would go on to lay out virtually everything that would happen after that without like saying, here's who I'm beating, here's what I'm doing. Like all these ideas that he had, like with drones and like how to make it cinematic and stuff. And obviously Jeremy Borash had a big hand in that too, because we saw that great thing that he did with Steiner, Josh Matthews, and Abyss and at Slammiversary. But yeah, man. There is the argument that GFW kind of owns it because they're the publisher, but hot damn, man. Hot damn, man. Like
that may all be well and good, but it doesn't help your case any in the court of popular opinion, which, to be fair, Norm Holm has said, screw public opinion. I don't care about that.
It seems counterproductive.
It does.
Seems counterproductive.
It doesn't help your image to be like, yes, oh, by the way, I just wanted to let everyone know that Matt Hardy basically blackmailed me into trying to get $100,000 out of me, held me over a barrel before our taping, and I said, oh, listen, I'd love to, Matt, but I really can't. I just don't have the money right now. But that's okay. I don't hold any ill will. And then Matt's like, what are you talking about? I taped that phone conversation. So that's going to wind up in discovery in the courtroom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I could pull up a tweet a text from Matt Hardy. Because, you know, I'm always in Jeff Jarrett's email inbox. I am always trying to find out stuff from Matt, like, especially in in winter and spring and stuff when all this was going on. Always talking to TNA, Impact, GFW wrestlers about how things are. The funny thing is you always hear about morale. They don't run shows enough to have a morale backstage. Like they see each other 1 week every 3 months, and that's about to change. But everything that Matt said was going to happen with GFW did happen. He called it like in February or March, I think it was, whenever they were leaving, that Impact would become GFW. And like I said, I won't. One day I'll expand the details there, but I'm watching it unfold, and I'm like, damn, man. Damn. Am I a part of the broken universe right now? Was he just saying that in character, and this is all just unfolding? Like, what is going on here? So that was interesting. Guys, we have UFC Mexico City coverage this weekend. My podcast notes go up every morning after Raw, SmackDown, and WWE pay-per-views. Visit Fightful.com, FightfulPods.com for all of your podcast needs. I want to thank everybody in Toronto that I got to see last week. Man, that was a life-changing trip. And I want to thank you, Alex, Anna, Jeff, Carlos, David especially, like all of my team that held the site together, and hope you all are looking forward to doing it in September when I go to Orlando. Which, here's what pisses me off, Alex.
Okay.
NXT tapings the night before I get there. Yeah. Yeah.
Non-refundable flight?
If I switch it to a night before, they would probably be okay, but my wife has already asked for a certain time off, and
yeah.
Anything else to add, Alex?
No, you can follow me on Twitter at Pawlowski IV. Sometimes I say funny things about wrestling.
Leave us a thumbs up, subscribe, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, all over the place. We got it going on at Fightful.com. Until next time, guys, we're out.